I'm going back there and I'm gonna ask to speak to somebody and give them all that paperwork to get my stuff unsuspended and I can get my money back. But yeah, it took us a year of them telling me every day I'm a loser, low life, and we should just split up and go in different shelters and be safe and be showered and clean and healthy and just see each other during the day. Little do they know, or they knew because I told them, but they couldn't get it through their thick heads. She's my CDPAP. We have to. Oh my God. I don't know how long it's shut off, but I'm gonna go with it. The two dirties I left were a year ago, so you can't bring up my things because it's the past. You know what I mean? But first, we'd have to smoke in my house. They would have drug parties every weekend. It'd be at his house, the neighbor's house, and there was another neighbor. You know, they'd just swap. It was at my house a lot, and they all had kids. I was one of them. You know, I was oldest of every kid. I was preteen, but just about a teenager. Everybody was younger, and they were in the house while everybody was baking the house out like it was a car. If anybody called CPS showed up there, they would have lost, every grown-up would have lost their kid. So I hope the person that is watching and telling my parents that, I know who you are, by the way, you're oh so sweet to me as a grown-up, you and your wife, you know, you're sweet, but every time I write something or do something, you go and tell my parents right away, you know, go look, go look, go look. You like giving drama, so it's stuff I could do a YouTube video about you, so I would kind of stop, let them see it themselves. It's going on. I don't hide it from nobody. It's going on my wall. Let them fucking see it, and don't be like, don't put fan the fire. You know what I mean? Because I'll just make a video about you and how your wife would sun you out. You know what I mean? Like, just really disrespect you. But I won't do that, and I won't bring up your name. But yeah. So I'm putting that motion in because she's trying to take the kid. Other than doing the fraud with the IRS, the fraud, she claimed my kid too. You know, we couldn't even claim him for a little bit. We're the homeless people. She's got 2 other kids, mortgage, all that she's getting the claim. She wouldn't let us claim I couldn't claim my own kid for for the half year that it was in her stomach. She didn't have the kid for the whole fucking year. She got him in June, July. We had him 6 months. We had him more than that because we had him the year before when we first made him. Yeah, you have a kid for almost 10 months, really, fully inside. But it is what it is. Let the orders take care of that. You know, she's doing everything up to par, which I was told she's not by her. Then then God bless her. She got away with it. You know, but people need to order me. You can order me too. I only get disability, and I don't get it. It's on my government website. I could show you. I could show them. It's a suspended. It stopped in November. I have 0 money. I have negative balance in my bank account. I owe a lot of money because I used to get it direct deposited so I can get fronted a lot of money and I can go over a certain amount, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know that was happening too. But I'm putting that motion in because I know about the law. And I have everything. I have the staff here that's high up, with credentials, writing about, on our behalf, all the good stuff we do and how we can supply a good environment for our son and how we are showing signs of everything that a parent should show, blah, 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 blah. All that will be written down by someone who is holding credentials. And I have all those texts that are going to get printed out, as well as all of the social media pictures of thousands of girls that are saying, don't talk to me here, talk to me here, don't let your wife know. Not like they meant that to him, but any guy, it's a Snapchat thing, or it's their personal OnlyFans page, whatever. But, I did it once where I tried to do slowly. I didn't do it quickly. I did it slowly, a little bit of a flirt. I got where I wanted to get. It satisfied me, and then I stopped talking, period, and I just disbanded that account. I didn't keep that receipt, though, which would help me right now, but I know, so that's enough at the moment, and plus all the proof I got, because I'm blocked everywhere from them, but I still got the pictures from when I first ran out. But when I first got her all those gifts, got a Ralph Lauren stuff, dining room set, dining room table, the napkins for your forks and all that, all Ralph Lauren. and flowers. And she said I got her that only because I felt guilty and ashamed that I got busted by her. I did it once where I tried to do slowly. I didn't do it quickly. I did it slowly, a little bit of a flirt. I got where I wanted to get. It satisfied me, and then I stopped talking, period, and I just disbanded that account. I didn't keep that receipt, though, you know, which would help me right now, but I know, so that's enough at the moment, you know, and plus all the proof I got, because I'm blocked everywhere from them, but I still got the pictures from when I first found out. But when I first got her all those gifts, got her Ralph Lauren stuff, dining room set, you know, dining room table, the napkins for your forks and all Ralph Lauren and flowers. And she said I got her that only because I felt guilty and ashamed that I got busted by her. Are you a fucking cop? Are you a judge? Are you my parents where I can get grounded still and listen? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I held that down because I'm loyal. If I say I won't say nothing, I won't say nothing. I don't give a fuck if I get problems, you know, like bad things said about me because of that action when it was nothing but sweetness of me, and money I didn't even have I spent on her for that Valentine's Day because I felt bad because of what's happening to her. She's got body dysmorphia, so she's not doing nothing about it because he has a little bit of old man muscle left. You know, my pop's got guns. My pop knocked me out twice in one day, and before that I was only knocked out once at 19 years old. You know, I got kicked in the face like a football when I was down on the ground beating up one kid, and that knocked me out. But my pop knocked me out twice on Halloween over something stupid. But that's because I won't touch him. And I used to tell him, you're just a pussy because you just are acting like this physical because you know I won't touch you. Like, you know, that's like something I will never do to my kids. I will never give them corporal punishment. I will make them understand what choice leads down the ending road. What is the ending result? I have the stories, like my YouTube stories. I did this stuff that you're doing, and it led me here. Do you want that to happen to you? Because you can't do it and it not happen. It's a yet. It didn't happen yet. You know, so I'm going to teach him like that, where he wants to, because that's like religion. Religion makes you like, because I don't follow man-made religions. I'm all about Anunnaki and, you know, Nibiru and, you know, Ningishita, Anki, all that stuff, and the Kabbalion. You know, I'm all that. But let's say Christianity, you got to fear God. You got to fear the wrath of God. You got to do nice because you're going to get the wrath of God or go to hell. So you're listening and doing good only out of fear. I'd rather you be doing good because that's what you're choosing to do without a fear of wrath or punishment. You just know that is the better way, and that's the way you want to go, because that's who you are. You know, and I'm going to raise a kid who's like that. You know what I mean? And I had to raise myself. I think I turned out pretty damn well considering that Wu-Tang and the streets raised me. You know what I mean? It raised me good to do this, to keep myself protected. I learned how to send all feelings down because everybody abandons, except for her. Everybody leaves me. That's why I like that song it's really by Trent Reznor, but Johnny Cash did it. Hurt. Everybody leaves me in the end, because that's what happens to me. Nobody sticks by me. Nobody. I don't get no unconditional love. There's no such thing. I mean, with her, there is. With me and her, she does give it to me. But I got tons of stamps of conditions that I can't keep up with. You know what I mean? It's not that easy for me. You know, but my love is there. I have unconditional love. Even though I'm talking like this, talking to vent, I still got unconditional love for all of my family. All. You know, and I would like peace, but they don't. They don't want me part of that family. They don't want me part of their family. Like, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. You know, I tried every way. You know, but yeah. So I she did all this stuff to like try to get my kid all these extra physical therapies to make it look better for us. Complained about the time we meet on Friday with the CPS work. We meet at a mall midway, so she doesn't have to drive all the way to Amityville, and we don't have to take buses all the way down there. And everything is going great, but she was complaining about it. You chose that because Tommy can't choose it. He's not a guardian. That's the other thing I'm fighting about. You're not paying for a babysitter when you're working. If you're working so much, because Tommy's Damien Whisperer has him doing all these good things, I don't want an ex-con raising my kid, especially one with those types of social media things. I don't have no nudity on, my stuff. I don't look at girls. I don't have nothing with nudity. Nothing with girls, nothing with girls' asses, telling me meet them here. That's it. That's all I got, and that's all I want and desire. I think I got lucky. This guy, John, doesn't deserve that, but I got that. So that's what he should be doing to my sister, treating her like a queen. And Chris, if you're listening to this, I don't know why you hate me for this, because I'm just trying to get you to be treated like a queen, but you're against me. Like, just me bringing this stuff up to you in the first place. You said, oh, that was probably the girls he was talking to before we met. He's known you for quite some years. I know how old, I'm not saying name, how old the oldest of your two kids is, and it was before that. You didn't have it the day you met him. You know what I mean? So he shouldn't still have those girls. He's got nothing but that. How about having pictures of your family and you and only friends like that too, like mom, dad, and like just he's too old to have that. Like, they don't look like you, not one. And there's some white women that are super duper skinny that are wearing a top and they don't even have titties. Like, he likes them like that, or he likes them with with big fat fucking round asses. Like the Snapchat and Instagram model type looking girls. None of them look like my sister, but my sister's all right with it being there, But I think it's a body dysmorphia, and she's just saying, hoping that it'll stop, it'll go away. He'll get confused and get bored with it. I never got bored with cheating because I got away with it my whole life. I invented how to cheat certain ways. Nobody ever knew what I was doing because I treated my girl, whoever I was with, like they were number one. And I still did what I did. But I knew to treat them like number ones because then there was no reason for them to feel like there was anything wrong. I would even act angry because if you act like and take too much bullshit, then you're getting stepped on. Then you might be doing something because you're hiding something. You know what I mean? Like, so I would even stick up for myself because I'm not hiding nothing. Meanwhile, I am. I know what to do. I invented a lot of the rules, but I told her all of them. How to do everything, why certain people are doing certain things. She says, why doesn't he get a job? Why doesn't he earn any money? He used to teach BJJ, but a 5-9 record, I wouldn't go to him. I'd go to John. If I wasn't John, I'd go to John when I had a fight. I don't know how to. I'm just a street brawler. Just a straight up street brawler. I eat, punches to get in because I have like a Tyrannosaurus Rex arm stretch, so and I'm small, I gotta eat one to get in, but when I get in, forget it. You won't be able to remember. So I don't even have to tell you forget it. I gotta tell you to remember, just so you can know how bad you got your ass beat. But move on from that. So yeah, so she's doing all this thing, I'm gonna get her audited. Let's hope it all works out. She's paying for everything, every hobby of his, because he doesn't have a job, his hobbies, and I'm gonna complain about him being the person who's mostly, if she's saying she's always working, he's mostly watching my son. And he's not the guardian. He's not allowed because he's an ex-con. He wasn't allowed. And not married, so, blah, blah, blah. Why is he always watching? He sold drugs. He's doing bad things. I got all these texts and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say all the ammo I have, but he's not the one that should be watching. He should be getting a babysitter to watch. There's other family members that are retired that you can ask them if they go watch the kid for a little bit while you're working, or that could be the time where we visit, see our kid. We can get 3 hours then, if you do your LMT for 3 hours, because I mean, how long are you massaging people if you're not playing dice and making any endings of like a story happy. It's just like a massage, you know what I mean? Whether you're billing a car, an insurance company because it's for a car crash, you're getting over on it, but a lot of it's under the table. You're just getting paid off the books for a lot of these jobs, you know what I mean? Because you bring your stuff separate, you know, the table and all that. How many hours can you say that you have to actually do that for? It's a lie, or it's not a lie and you're hiding a lot of the money. Either way, whatever you claimed on your taxes better be enough to pay for all the bills you've been paying for. 3 kids too. Better pay, or 2, and you know the state's been helping you with the 3rd, but the state better have a reason to help you with the 3rd. Why'd you take that under as a responsibility if you couldn't afford it? That's another thing I'm gonna have put in there. If you can't afford it, then you shouldn't have been the person. And I don't like how ex-con is with the child most of the day. I don't like that, especially when he dealt drugs to people with fetuses in their stomach, people who just made babies, people who wouldn't pay their homes. They would buy the drugs off you and just get themselves homeless, you know, give you they'll offer you blowjobs for drugs, you know, whatever, because he sold the bad stuff, you know. And it is what it is. I mean, people change, so I'm not going to take that away from him. The guy might have changed, but unfortunately, I got recent stuff. He did not change that part of him. So I don't know, you know, like where is this extra money coming from? You know, he's got these plans to get these things done, but he's got no income coming in if he ain't selling. And he's got no income coming in. So how the hell is he gonna buy himself a truck to make I don't know, like them trucks that you see like that they serve like Spanish cuisines, you know, from like a camper type of truck done up. Where? You gonna have my sister pay for it all? You know what I mean? Like, but she don't make enough. She needs help. So either way, the story doesn't work. You gotta be selling drugs, or she's gotta be playing pool and making every story she writes happy at the end. You know what I mean? There's no other way to make that type of money. But that way, DSS will be all over your ass too. Trust me, you can't fraud. You cannot fraud. If you try to fraud, they catch you every time. Because look, I didn't even fraud. And I'm dealing with this stuff now. And I'm showing them all the proof that they're wrong, and I'm still dealing with it without getting paid. So thank God I have this wonderful woman. She helps me with the CDPAP, you know, with the money. It's enough to pay our bills and a couple of things that we may need, you know. But that's where we are right now. But yeah, I'm bringing everything. I have so much stuff I'm bringing to the table. It's going to be all printed out, all the conversations with my parents, each individual one, about even the times when I was mouthing off. It's all going to be there. And so don't say, oh, you're probably just going to redact all the shit you said. No, everything. Even if I call people, my mom, fuck you, ma. You know, like, I didn't say that, but like if I said shit like that, it's because I never start like that. I'm a reactor. I'm a mirror. I used to say that. You can ask her. I used to say that. I'm just a mirror to you. Let's say it's mama. I'm just being a mirror to you, mom. The amount of disrespect you show me, I will show you that back to let you know how I feel when you're doing it. I'm going to just mirror you. I'm your mirror. As nice and respectful as you am to me, that's as nice and respectful I will be to you. Because I am too old to just be nice and respectful. That's like what a child has to do, no matter how the parent acts or they're grounded. You ain't grounding me. I mean, you haven't been in my life, none of you guys, since forever. You know what I mean? Like, and all you do is you created this problem where now I can't go with Natasha over my sister's house. You said whatever you said about, you know, because Tommy thought, I didn't want them to think they were the mom and the dad. Tommy's the uncle. So I would call him Uncle Tom. And my mom would get mad at that. And I guess I did some research, why, because I didn't know why am I getting yelled at for calling him an Uncle Tom? Aunt Chris, Uncle Tom. Like, why? And then I seen the Jim Crow law era stuff and shit like that. Like, really? Like, that's how much they don't like me. I don't want him to ever be dad. It's my son. He's the uncle. Just like Crazy Uncle John, you know, to my 2 nieces. which I love to death. Uncle Tom, or do you want to say Tommy from now on? Tommy, he's a little old to be calling him Tommy. You know what I mean? Like calling me John John is, I can outgrow that too, but I'm the third and I was given him by my parents. But he's Uncle Tom. Like, we don't have to think about these Jim Crow era times or slave, you know, we don't even have to think like that. Only your brain is thinking like that, because if you want to be honest, you were not happy with the first time she brought a black person to the house. Because I told you, when you said I called my sister a N lover, you know, when I was a kid, which I openly admit, I was a kid and I was trying to piss her off, trying to get them to break up. I did. Not a racist bone in my body. You know what I mean? Obviously, my son had black, my wife, you know, had black. I mean, black. And all my friends, most of them. And I'm in the Spanish Association, you know, it's like, come on now, you know? And I said, that's funny how you're saying that. Because I used those, you know, I said all that, and I said, but you hard-arred me, bunch of times. Every time you heard me on the house, you know, before everybody had cell phones, when I'm talking to my friends on the house phone with the cord, I want to bring it out in the backyard because the cord reached, but I get yelled at to keep the phone in the house. So they would hear me, yo, son, what up, what you doing, man? That, you know, talking like that. And I'd be called a hard R, N-word. I said, now can you answer up for that? Quiet as a church mouse. And then I was told I just hurt his feelings, that's all. But why are we bringing up, if you told me it's the law, not bringing up the past, but you can bring up my past? That don't make any sense. So I'm gonna keep bringing up the past then. You know what I mean? Like, if you're bringing up my past, which I do myself, you know, you should be doing it on my YouTube channel. Do it. I'll let you come on and just do it. You'll probably get me a lot of views. I tell them myself, I wasn't good growing up. I called myself what to you, babe? I'm a certain type of person. I'm a very...
Honest person?
No. The bad thing that I say about myself. I'm a very person.
Evil.
There you go. 100% right. I told her I was evil. And she says I'm not. I'm not now. You know, I show love, you know, because I got something to love. I got a reason to show and feel love and empathy and all that. So it allows me to let my wall down, the drawbridge open, and you know, around the moat, you know, because I just was getting left and shit talked and hurt and left out of everything, family gatherings and stuff. And anytime they brought me there, it was only because they had to keep up with the Joneses, and they would ask, why isn't John John here, you know, and I wasn't really wanted, you know, and I felt it, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what life you created. You like telling them that. But if I was to tell them the real stuff, how I was raised, I got high first time. I didn't know what drugs were until I touched yours looking for porno. And don't forget about how you had that Chicks with Dicks fucking tape too, because I didn't. Because I grew up not knowing. I thought it was opposite. Until later in life, I learned what the truth was. Why you had it, I don't think that was for mommy. Maybe it was, you know, so you could both have fun, but you had that tape in there. So, I don't know. Explain that in the comments down below, Pop. You know, you don't even have to be yourself. You can just be like, I bet you that guy had it, because, you know, and be some other Johnny Schmo, you know, if you don't want to be senior, you know, don't matter. Have I seen those type of people? Yes. Have I been friends with them? Yes. This guy J-Lo in Franklin used to show me his titties all the time. I have respect, boundaries with only him with that. I'd laugh it off, and I shared the room with him with two other guys, you know, because there was a 4-man room. He was fine. He didn't cross the line. He didn't try to do nothing crazy. He would give me free stuff, my friend free stuff, and I'm talking about Chinita, you know what I mean? Like, all the, you know, gang members would give it to him because they were on the low doing crazy shit. And the mooks, they're ones, well, that's what we call them, you know, up top, they're mooks, you know. And they had more bangers when the metal techs came around their table than anybody else did. So you don't fuck with them, all right? And that's what you wanted to see. That's what you wanted to see. That's your own business. But, you know, that is the truth, you know. And you did sell weed. The first weed, I used to steal the weed from you. We caught each other smoking that one time. I went out my window, you went out the backyard, and I thought I heard something. We both caught each other on the back of the house. Both ran back in. You know, you had a hash ball the size of a fucking baseball. And then the two side flaps filled with roaches. You know what I mean? But I used to steal and buy stuff off my friends. You know, the TurboGrafx 16 Duo system. I bought this. I was buying stuff until you figured it out and had these locks, special locks put on the door that I figured out later. But after the rehab that I went to when I was 15 or 16 or 7, so I was 17, I think, that stuff wasn't in there no more in the house. So you either did stop or, you know, you just knew you couldn't leave it in the house because I was gonna get it. You know what I mean? I was like having like Gator. I had drug radar. I knew if there was any in the house, and from that point on, you know, because I was brought into it. I was like, you get jumped into a gang, you jumped me into the fucking drug gang by leaving it in the house for me to find and to experiment. Went into not get any coaching or teaching. The only coaching and teaching I got was you selling, not getting in trouble, thinking that's all right as long as you don't do nothing super wrong, which, I don't know, makes sense of that. And you baked out the house with preteens all running around. I figured that was all right as long as no one called cops on you because you didn't make too much of noise. You know, you guys were drunk, having your fun, but think about it. You were around nothing but preteens. I can say all their names, but I won't out of respect. But it was me, sister. There was 6 of us, or 7, because I'm the 7th. And then you sometimes had the 8th when this other couple had one boy come over that starts with a B, Crystal's friend. My friend first from the apartment, but then Crystal's friend. So, and just baking out the freaking house like it was a car, and you're just smoking a blunt and just baking it out. And there's nothing wrong with the way you raised us. But I am taking the responsibility for every decision I made. Why? Because I have an IQ of 143. You can ask my mother. It took me to get an IQ test because I was acting out in class, first grade, and they were thinking about special ed me, and they found out I was just too bored because I was too smart. 143. That's basically a genius IQ, and I swear on my son that that's what it was, 143. And you know, certain people act a certain way to certain things. I was able to make my own choices at a young age. I was living in the street, allowed to go anywhere I want at single digits. I sent someone to the hospital at single digits, where the ambulance came onto the property of school to kick him out. He had to get stitches, got threw a stick into his head. I set the school on fire at the same age, 7 years old. I was dating, went on a real date. I seen Big with Tom Hanks in the movie theaters when it was brand new. That shows you, you know, and trying to be in like a Laker fucking cheerleader, some sport, some fucking sport. It's nothing. That's fucking elementary school. If you're bragging about that or flexing about any school time, even high school, that's your flex. That means that's the pinnacle of your life. That means you have a sad fucking life, my friend, you know, unless you're in that age and that's your current life, you know, that's your peak. You're just flexing about what you're doing at the moment. Now, you know, that's just old school shit, and I'm not gonna flex that because that's kiddie shit. But that just shows I had behavior problems because I was letting the street show me right from wrong and how to live correctly. And I was always around the worstest kid because I always had fought. So I was considered quote unquote cool. I think the cool kids were the ones who shut up and did good in school, and those are the Bill Gates and the Elon Musks. You know, Elon Musk is doing a bunch of ketamine and drugs and, you know, whatever. But yep, I just got a phone call and I just ended it. That's what happened before. But yeah, he's gonna keep going. So I'm gonna probably have to wait if this fucking guy nonstop keeps going, because that was gonna be a Bozo Chronicle. He was gonna be the guy I talk about, because he's getting done, robbed, just like I robbed 2 other people. So whatever. But yeah, so I don't think he should be the one who's always around my kid because of his charges in his past, and he's not the right person. There's plenty of better. Yeah, if this kid keeps calling, then I'm gonna have to just take a pause and just keep having fun with him. Keep having fun with him by doing it. But send him to a babysitter, or have the state babysit during those times. But everything better equal out, and there better be a good reason why he is the one that's watching, considering his backyard ain't clean. Just like mine ain't clean. But that's on the birth. I love hanging up on him because that's pathetic. Like you keep trying to block the number, and he's trying from non-caller ID, like I'm gonna answer who. Yeah, that's just that battery. But yeah, so yeah. If he does it 2 more times, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm gonna wait a little while to finish the video and then do Bozo Chronicle where I can play that motherfucker. But I'm gonna bring the court and try to do what I gotta do my due diligence, have my paperwork, and have everything ready and all laws ready, have memorized and everything, have her say what she says, that is right, and have them audited too, and bring up the past of everybody, because mine is already out there. Look at my YouTube channel. It's my whole past. I was a piece of shit. I learned and grew up, and I'm a guy with a heart, loyalty, with empathy. I love my family unconditionally, but people didn't raise me right, and but I am taking the responsibility of every action I made, every single action. So nobody's responsible but me. But thanks for the good act to follow. I had to follow your act. I think I did pretty good, considering I didn't turn out like Jeffrey Dahmer or Royce Gracie, not Royce Gracie, the clown guy.
Oh, Gacy.
Yeah, Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. I didn't turn out like them, so I'm the one who died 8 times. I didn't kill 8 people. I got killed 8 times. But I'm gonna let the devil wait a little.